I don't know if the other thing's published. Nothing's working, but that last time it stopped working because I hit the stop button because I'm cramped in here. Anyway, I was making a point about the helicopter, so there's probably 3 different stupid little videos here about the police helicopter. I'm trying to make one silly little point that I've got to give up trying to do this. Anyway, I thought it was a strange thing about police, and I thought of a great thing, and I'm going to put it out there so that anyone else there, I'm basically stopping this from ever working by putting it on YouTube, but I'll probably get this banned. We'll see if that happens. Anyway, I thought it'd be a great way, if they were surveilling me, paranoia, huh? If they were surveilling me or someone else, FBI, whoever, and they wanted to do it like a hiding in an ice cream truck or whatever while you're filming, great way to do it would be to shine the spotlight down right beside the building on the street opposite, because the people were going to panic, look out and go, oh, it's just a car crash in the corner or something, and then they'd go on about their business. And in fact, the people doing it would then. John Douglas would like this. I was going to email it to him, but nothing's working. I'm tired of trying. But so I just thought I'd put it out there this way instead, which does a completely different thing. Anyway, if you wanted to survey someone, the people downstairs would immediately think that you're not watching them because it's close. They panicked and now they're relaxed. And then they'd really make mistakes and go about the business carefree. And if you were surveying them, then you would be more likely to catch them. And anyone who was perpetrating a crime that understood that would, like a lot of criminals are smarter than the people trying to catch them. What does it say about society was my point, that we need police. And not only that, we fear police, and we live in fear of any kind of interaction with these people in society. What kind of society are we? Is it really worth having something called society? I'm not going to tell you who said this, but someone, because then someone would get outraged about it. But the man that said it said, when people talk of society, that's when I reach for my revolver. And how can we call this a society when we need police? This is my point, and the video is having me working, so it probably I won't have time to make it. But if you're a good person and you know old Mrs. whatever up the street, I'm going to use the example of the lady that lives next door, Trudy. If I knew Trudy, I happened to be fixing a light bulb in her house or something, and I knew she kept billions of dollars in $100 bills, or she had gold or whatever under her bed or something like that, and she's scared of the banks, she keeps $20,000 under the bed, right? Whatever. Now, me personally, I don't need a law to tell me not to go and steal Trudy's money, or to in any way infringe upon any other person. I don't need a law for that. I know morally that these things are wrong, so I would not do them because I was taught well by good people. I do not need police forces to punish me or to trip me up, to turn every mistake you make or every learning experience you have into a crisis, And so many people have become more of a problem because of the way they've been treated by law enforcement, police, whatever. By force. You can't force things. You like a cat and you try and capture it, it will never ever trust you, it will never come to you. I'll wear my little Jupiter here, my little Jupiter scar with pride, because we have a bond that's very strong. This is a little dog that doesn't trust anyone, and one of the greatest compliments in my life was when my friend Scott said to me, I was listening to him tell a story about Jupiter, and he was talking at a time when Jupiter was very scared because he was abused by so many people, and he was burnt, and it was horrible, and Scott rescued him, and Scott, even though he was biting Scott and everything, and Scott is a great rescuer of dogs, and great dog personalities are drawn to him. Maybe that's why I was. Anyway, little Jip, rocket dog. Scott was telling the story about him, and he said, he turned to me and he went, at that point, you were his only friend in the whole world. And I thought, wow, it was one of the most incredible, great compliments of my life. And one time when everything was changing here at the house, And Jupiter, the thing that's wrong with him is people think he's really cute and really nice, and then he gets scared by them, and he just immediately, without any warning at all, he's just looking, and his ears are little triangles, and he's a Rottweiler, but he looks like he does this little Charlie Chaplin routine, like he's really just a black Labrador. And then as soon as you get coming close to him, he gets scared and goes, and no, I didn't even do it. He's looking at you like this, and he just goes, much quicker than that. He just suddenly lunges at your face out of fear, and he's not really biting you, but I'll put it in legal terms, he inadvertently sticks his teeth through the surface of people's skin. Anyway, so he was getting really, and he is like a little sentry. He has certain times of day that he has to be around his area to check that everything's okay, and he sits there for a while, and then he moves on, and he digs these little holes, and he sits in these little holes, and I saved him one time actually through intuition. He was sitting downstairs tied up, and I had a feeling that someone was going to, I just saw Scott's truck run over him, so I went down and I put a big kind of decorative stone concrete thing in front of him, and a while later I had a crunch and I went down, and this chick had a good friend of Scott's, and she was using his truck, and she had pulled in and ran right over the stone, and the noise had woke Jup up, and he jumped out of the way. If the stone thing hadn't been there, he would be dead, for sure. She was going to kill him, and didn't even see him. She just didn't care. And I went up to the window and I said, do you know that if you just ran over that thing there, and if you'd went any further, if I hadn't put it there 5 minutes ago, you would have killed Jupiter? And I didn't mean it as an accusation, or like, I just was like, look, are you aware of this? You know, you've got to pay attention in front of you. You know, you can't drive a fucking huge truck. Do you have to learn by killing a baby on a crosswalk that you've got to look in front of you, you arrogant fucking... And bitch is the word I was going to say, but it's an insult to bitches. Fuck. Anyway, and the reason I'm so upset about this is because when I said this to her, she turned to me and she went, get the fuck out of my way. She was just not interested at all. Everything she said was completely, she had no care in the world. There was, if she had run over Jupiter, her only concern would have been getting away with it, fending Scott off. You know, that would have been it. No morals whatsoever, this woman. Yeah. How's it going, man? And anyway, that's Scott at the door, so I've got to go. So here's my blog.